In this video, we're going to be taking a look at my initial setup for the Haslab Eisley Cantina. A few things I'll note before we begin the tour. One is there's no particular rhyme or reason to the setup I have. It's not accurate to what we see in the New Hope, but I think it's great regardless. And hopefully it is a start of a series of videos that I hope to make for various setups for the Cantina. And I do hope at some point when I finally get around to getting the rest of the mains from New Hope, that I will end up making the particular scene we see in the film as best I can. I'm still missing a lot of the Cantina patrons as well, and it'll definitely be quite some time before I get around to getting the rest of them. And one other thing I did want to note while I'm thinking of it, for the tables that are included with this set, I wonder if there's any lights that I can get to put under these, and then of course it would this translucent plastic piece here would light up in the inside there. I am looking to get some lights for this. There are a few that I have on my watch list right now. Hope to get those soon, and then of course film a video featuring all those. Well, without saying anything further, let's begin our tour. We'll start on the outside here. You have FX7 and the Gonk droid, reminiscent to the original Battlefront games. Thought they looked great together there. Then we have Dr. Afra, 000, and BT. Realizing that droids are not welcome in this location, they're outside trying to figure out how they're going to get in. Kind of get a look on the inside there. We have Boba Fett making his entrance here. And we have our main scene. So of course, when Boba Fett enters a room, everyone takes notice. And he's just scanning the area. Here at this table, have the Fire Speeder pilot, Cal Kestis, Watto, Quinlan Voss, and Hera. Interesting combination, but I thought all these characters looked great together. So for both Quinlan and Cal Kestis here, I did not include the lightsaber hilt on their belts. Of course, if we're kind of going off of A New Hope, Jedi are probably no longer really welcome at this point. Of course, that didn't really stop Obi-Wan, but I figure these guys are trying to stay undercover as best they can. Have some of the cups and glasses there, and this particular piece right there is one of the translucent parts for one of the tables. For the Fire Speeder pilot there, he reminds me of the Iridonian that's in the spacesuit in the Manon Cantina on Auto City in the first Knights of the Old Republic game. A little bit of a nod to that. have the Duros Elros there. We have Wooher chatting it up with Black Stanton there. Figure he fit having that extra large mug there, the fruit sticking out. Next we have some of the Jabba's Palace aliens, but I'm just treating them as normal patrons here. And the Klatooinian Raider, just sitting back having a good time. And the various tipped over chairs and the cups and things like that. I purposely did that. A little bit of a rowdy place. And Nabron Leeds there. And Lax Sivrak. Have the Tonica sisters on the other side of them. Then Yak Face in the corner. For the Leia Boosh here, I'm just treating this figure as the normal Boosh, the actual bounty hunter. For Yarrow there, it's kind of tied into the scene in the alcove behind her. I'll show that off here in a moment. Then we have Cobb Vanth, who is the sheriff of the Cantina, just observing. In the first alcove here, try to see if I show these off as best I can. Went ahead and grabbed a flashlight real quick to show off in these alcoves a little bit better. So on the inside we have VIP entertainment. We have both weekways in there. Try to show that off as best I can. I might take that alcove top off here in a moment. And that's Ula in there. That's kind of tied into Yarrow there. Next one we have Han Solo interacting with the Jawa. And the two Jawas I have, I'm treating as like assistants. I have this other one here assisting Wooher at the bar. Then we have the Mithril in there. He was another fitting character. Still need to get the newest TVC Han Solo, which I hope to here soon. Side here, have the Walrus Man from the Cantina 4-pack. Reese is a little upset at Kyle Katarn for beating up on him in Dark Forces 2. Have Kyle in the back there holding the cup. And Dina Shawn there as well. Both her and Kyle are undercover. And here are some better looks of inside the alcoves without the roofs on. As I mentioned, the two weekways. Unfortunately, the one here can't really sit down too well because of the plastic tunic there. I did about the best I could. Ula there doing her thing. Mithril and Han Solo there. And then Kyle Katarn. All their weapons on the table. Dina Shawn, and then Walrus Man just sitting in there. He kind of has a hard time staying down as well because of the holster there. And now for the other side here. I mentioned this table here. So in this alcove I have Greedo and all the Rhodians. Both the Saga Collection Greedo, somewhere in the back there. It's probably kind of hard to see. And then the Cantina Adventure Greedo, then the Haslab one there. South Cove has all the Hammerheads. Then Bob Vinden and Talon Card are in the back there as well. And then last but not least, the Fig Duran and the Moto Nodes band. I have Bib Fortuna scouting out for some new talent. They had the Jawas Palace. This is Ivita here, I recently opened up, and should have a video going up soon for her. Very nice action figure, very fitting for the Cantina. Here we have Ponda Baba and Dr. Iverson having a discussion. Cad Bane there scoping them out. Then Zutton and the blue Snaggletooth. See them in there. And I figure I'd just add one of the random Mandalorians from the Elite Forces of the Republic pack. I thought he was fitting. Have these chairs set up in case anyone wanted to sit down and watch the band. Try and get this as close as possible. And then here are the alcoves again for the other side without the roofs on. Band fits pretty well in there. I do have stands for most of them, so not too bad. Here we have the hammerheads, talent card, and Bomb Vinden in there. So I took the Saga Collection holograms of Han Solo and Boba Fett and figured it'd be like them watching a holovid. Fit in pretty good in there. Definitely if I get some lights, I think they'll show up a lot better. And then last but not least, the Rhodians. Greedo here. And the other Greedo, in this case I'll just treat as Beto. Then the Kenner-inspired Greedo, who I'm just treating as more of a generic Rhodian. The Saga Collection Greedo there sits pretty good. One other thing I'll note is I don't know if in the bar area here if I have it set up 100% correctly, because there are a few things like this post here next to I Vita. Not sure where that's supposed to go, but I figured it'd be a nice prop just to add into the middle of the cantina. And there are a few other accessories as well. Let's see if I can find those. Yeah. This piece right here, I wasn't able to really figure out where it's meant to go. I think that's pretty much it. But I think that's it for my initial setup here. I'm very proud of this. What I appreciate most about this Cantina is it is a culmination of the history of Star Wars action figure collecting, all combined in one area. It's one thing to have all your action figures on display side by side, but when you have them as part of a diorama piece like this, it's truly special. Take like the Fire Spear pilot there, 19-year-old action figure at this point. And then Watto, this is like a 17, 18-year-old action figure. Quinlan Voss, a little over 12 years. And then Hera, who's more recent. And it's a great way to get all these characters together and interacting with one another. Truly a special thing. And as I mentioned, I do have plenty more setups in mind for this. Hopefully we'll start setting up for that here soon. But before I do that with a new setup, I think I will be adding the lights to this here, hopefully here within the next few weeks, and do another video for that. I think it might change the perspective of this, so stay tuned for that. Looks like Dr. Afra fell back a little bit. But if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate everyone's support. Really means a lot to go back and read all the comments and see the appreciation among everyone. And of course, check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.